Welcome to the NYSE Big Startup, a show about unlocking potential, brought to you by NYSE and hosted by me, Guy Kawasaki.
Well, I'm a computer nerd, just like almost everyone else in this part of the world.
Yeah.
And Evernote is a service that acts as your external memory, your second brain. So anything important that happens, you can put into Evernote, and we help you make sense of it and find it and put it into context. So you always have all of your information at your fingertips. So it's a central service, and then a series of apps that run on every device you own, every phone, every computer, every scanner, every gadget you have that talk to this external brain.
Not only tell us, what was your first step. With hindsight, what do you think your first step should have been?
I think the main thing I would say is just I should have made Evernote my first company, not my third company. My first company, we made e-commerce software.
Okay.
But for retailers. But we weren't a retailer, so we weren't making it for us. How would we know if it were great? We have no way of knowing. We have to, we have to do market research. We have to ask people, but we can't feel it ourselves, right? In my second company, we made security stuff for banks and governments, but we're not a bank or government, so how would we know if it's great? At Evernote, we make it for us, so we know it's great because we use it and we love it. And I think in this world, your chances of succeeding are so much greater if you actually make something fantastically good. And if it's your first company, the only way you're ever going to know if it's fantastically good is you have to be the judge. You have to make it for yourself. So first time around, just make something for you.
I know a lot of people here, and I think you have a great team. How did you find, create, seduce, hire, whatever, this team?
I think when you're when you're a 5-person startup and you look around, you and plus the 4 other people, it's like all of those people, they're on a mission, right? They're on a quest.
Mm-hmm.
None of them have a job.
Right.
It's not a job. You are on a mission to do this, and this company is the most important thing in all their lives. You have 5 people like that, right? And then when you have 10 people, then you look around and there's 9 of us are on a mission, but there's that one guy over there, and it's clearly just a job for him, right? And that's okay. And the first thing is you got to get comfortable with that, right? It can't be a crusade for everyone. But the central thing that I think is what a startup has that a big company doesn't. When I say that we want to be a 100-year startup, this is what I mean. I want to be tens of thousands of employees, but I still want to be a startup. I mean that I never want anyone working at Evernote that doesn't understand why they're doing something. I never want anyone to feel I'm doing this, I'm doing some task, I don't understand why, they're just making me do this is stupid. I think as soon as you've got that, then you've crossed the line and now you're a big bureaucracy. So the goal is to make sure that everyone, whether they're on the same quest or it's just a job, it should work really hard, that's fine, it's required, but they need to understand exactly why they're doing it and not feel like their boss is wasting their time.
Okay.
And that's the main thing that we watch for.
You're familiar with the New York Stock Exchange's Big Startup program. How do you think that program can help entrepreneurs?
I think entrepreneurs need all the help, they can get. And I think I've been thinking a lot about this, about exits and liquidity and IPOs. And at Evernote, we really decided there's no exit for us. There's no exit strategy. Right? Evernote is our life's work. There's no exit strategy for your life's work.
How do your investors feel about that?
Well, I asked them. And they feel great about it because I think what's different is you can decouple liquidity from exit.
Okay.
Right? There's no reason why you can't give people a return on their investment, where you can't give people liquidity without killing the company. Right? There doesn't have to be an exit. So I think ultimately an IPO is the morally correct thing for Evernote to do. Right? If we're building a company where we're asking the whole world to trust us with your memories, I think the right thing to do is to give everyone in the world the opportunity to be an owner of the company as well. Mm-hmm. But that IPO is not something we aspire to. It's not a goal. It's not a destination. It's just a step. It's a step in the 100-year plan that sort of inevitably has to happen. So everything that we've done in the past couple of years with our funding has been to sort of start thinking about the roadmap for how to get not to IPO, but past IPO, with the IPO being a natural step. And I think the NYSE program can really help people think through that. I think being an entrepreneur is ridiculously hard, right? And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's a ridiculously bad idea. But if you're doing it for the right reasons, there's really only one right reason, right? Which is to change the world a little bit. If you're doing it for the right reason, I think today, right now, is the best time in the history of the universe to actually be an entrepreneur, to make a meaningful and enduring company. Because we live in as much of a meritocracy as the world's ever seen. Right. Because if you make something great, that's enough.
Phil, thank you very much for this interview. I'm sure that there are lots of guys and gals in garages who will be inspired, particularly by that advice to build the product that they want to use instead of being market-driven. I think that's great advice. So thank you very much for joining us.
Guy, thank you so much, and thank you for all your help over these years at Evernote.
Thank you for watching the NYSE Big Startup.